Greetings, my fellow unicorns. I'm Jolene. Welcome to Jolene Sparkles. And today we're going to return to our series on Factorio 1.1 with the Krastorio 2 mod. I know that we were playing Dyson Sphere program every Wednesday and Saturday for the past couple of weeks. But for a change, we're going to switch back to Factorio once a week, and then we'll still be playing Dyson Sphere program on Saturdays. And there is a small possibility in the future I might add a third day if I can kind of get everything together in the right way. But I'm starting to finally get my stream exactly where I want it. Not really, that's a total lie. I'm starting to get things better, so, I can at least get my stream started on time. I mean, it's shocking that I am actually able to start on time and stuff. Plus, I love my little new cat ears, so there's that. Anyway, all right, so, yeah, let's jump into the game. Of course, looking for game to capture, as usual. And let's go around and take a look at our map and see where we're at. Okay, so I did take a quick kind of look around prior to actually starting the stream. That was why I was like 30 seconds late, because I took a quick little 30-second trip around to kind of see where I was at with things. And the biggest thing that I'm noticing about my base is that, well, besides we got a long ways to go before we get to trains and all that fun stuff, but our resources are not coming out quite as fast as I would like. You can see that our copper's a little bit behind right now. Our green circuit productions, it's doing okay, but it could definitely be doing a lot better. Our red circuit production is very poor right now. That definitely has to improve, but a lot of that is because of our green circuits here. Now, in order to get our green circuits coming through a little bit faster, we're going to have to upgrade some of these factories. We're going to have to increase our copper production, which of course is running a little bit slow. And coming over to our copper production, you can see that while we have a good amount of ore coming through, this side's a little tiny bit slow. Wait, do we have electric? Got to remember hotkeys going back and forth between Dyson Sphere program and this game. So let's see, we do have the electric furnaces. Hey PJ, how are you doing this evening? So we do have the electric furnaces, which means that we can get rid of this this coal coming through, but not just yet. We actually have to produce some of those. Let's go ahead and produce some of those. We'll just create a couple by hand right now, but we will want to add those to our mall, which will be steel plate, electronic circuits, and stone bricks, which I think we have all those things over in our little mall. I think we do. Let's see here. So we got stone bricks coming up here. We've got, oh crap, what else was it? It was stone bricks, red circuits, which are down over there. Yeah, we won't be able to build them right here because our circuits are down over there and such. So we might have to hold off on really adding these to a mall right now. And that's just because, we've got, certain things that are being produced up here. We got a bunch of things that are being produced down there. And it's kind of a pain in the ass to get back and forth, on these things. And then you can also see that our glass production is a little bit slow right now. So let's first start off with improving this this copper plate production. So we have produced a couple of our electric furnaces. We actually should just produce a bunch more. Got to remember these hotkeys kind of going back and forth. Now, this is kind of why I had left some room here. You might notice that the stone furnaces and the next one's up. Wait, so stone furnaces, and then there's steel furnace and electric furnaces. The steel furnaces are 1 by 1, and the electronic furnaces are 2 by 2. And this is exactly why I did the spacing the way that I did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deconstruct. Oops. Swear, going back and forth between these games, I got to remember all the hotkeys again. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that. And it's a good thing you can't see all the miss key presses that I'm doing right now. Okay, we're going to select the recipe. And then now you can see that it just kind of drops in place. But we do have to get rid of this conveyor right here. We have to get rid of this inserter, and then we have to get rid of the furnace itself. But this inserter right here continues to work as normal, and it does not need the copper. So let's first go ahead and we'll just upgrade one side. I mean, to be honest with you, we have to upgrade all of these before we can shut off the coal entirely, because and luckily well, not luckily, but the steel furnace and electric furnace production is the exact same speed. But yeah. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy some of these over. There's one thing that Dyson Sphere program is really missing is the ability to copy and paste. I hope that they add that eventually at some point. So let's see. Let's go ahead and deconstruct all of... we're just going to go ahead and just make sure that we can do all of these. So let's... wait. Let's see here. We don't want to take out those inserters there. We want to keep those. But we want to copy and paste this numerous times. And we're just going to replace each side one at a time. And then if we don't have enough material, we'll just run back and get whatever we need to fix that. So let's go ahead and drop... that one's probably not going to have enough room here. It looks like we need some more inserters, so we'll just kind of let that do its thing. Let's go over and grab some inserters from our mall, which should be... looks like our iron production over here has basically stopped. We're producing it in other areas, but it looks like it has completely stopped there. Yes, absolutely, PJ, through the magic of copy and paste. That is a programmer's nightmare. Copy and paste. Copy pasta. Let's see here. Oh, God, I can't remember where my mall is and everything else. Holy crap. I think I should move my mall down a little bit because all the things that I need are way down there. Let's see, what do we need in order to create these? We need more steel plates, which I think we're producing over here-ish. Yep, here we go. Here's our steel production. And we do have a really small buffer here. It's better than nothing. It's not exactly the best buffer, but hey, it's a buffer. That's all that matters. Let's go ahead and produce a bunch of those. Oh, wait, we need to grab some faster inserters, which should be up here somewhere. Oh, yeah, I forgot I do have teleport in on this game. Because it does make life a lot easier. This way we don't have to keep running back and forth, which I gotta say is a giant pain in the ass in a lot of these games, and I'm not going to go running back and forth. I'm going to try to figure out where I have my inserters. And, am I not creating these? Oh. Maybe we didn't get far enough to create... I mean, so here's our first level of inserters, but I guess we didn't create our mall for our second level of inserters. That's okay, because we're going to end up moving this mall anyway. That's totally fine. So let's go ahead and grab, let's see, how many of my level 1 inserters we have? We have plenty, but we just have to go ahead and create a ton of these. But we do have our inserter parts, which are over here somewhere, but I don't know if we're not separating these, unfortunately. I wish we kind of were right now, but we're not. Okay, so we're going to cancel some of these out because we do have the materials on us. There's no reason to create all those by hand. Now that's going to still go ahead and create all of those electric furnaces that we need. So let's go ahead and head back over here, and we'll continue to replace that stuff as the rest of those are being built. Let's see, do we have our nanobots selected? Yes, and they should... Oh wait, it's got 8 more of those to do, and then it can finally do that. Okay, so in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and deconstruct all of these except for that bottom one. Do some more magic copy and paste. Magic copy pasta. Now, of course, these aren't going to build until we have completed building the rest of those inserters by hand. Which is okay. Oh, wait, what am I doing here? There we go. Just gotta remember all these damn hotkeys. Going back and forth between these games is, definitely makes life challenging sometimes. Fast insert goes. Yeah, there we go. Okay, now that's in the right place. We just get some more power up here. Looks like all these are out of power now. We don't want to put it on both sides because that's kind of a mess. So we're only going to kind of put it on, half of these kind of going down. There we go, and those should now start producing more. And we can actually get rid of that now, because that is no longer needed. Which means that we can come through here, and we can grab all of the coal out of this line here. because we don't need the coal anymore. So what that's going to do is it's going to put both sides of the belt to have ore. And now you can see that the ore is starting to populate both sides of the belt. But this is going very slowly right now because these have not been upgraded to the next level of conveyor belts. Let's see, this one, wait, has this one been updated? Let's see. No, that one's already been updated, so we don't want to do that one because we don't have the blue belts just yet. But you can see that a lot more ore kind of comes down here, and then the, by looking at a side-by-side, you can see that it is a much more improved way of doing smelting. And if you look at the left and right side of the belt, you will also see that the left side of the belt has a lot more material completed than the right side of the belt. And that's because the right side of the belt has its inserters dropping onto the left side of the belt. So they're kind of, doing that as the insert. So let's go ahead and get rid of all this coal on here. So we're just basically hitting the F key, holding it down, and letting it just kind of pick up every item off that belt. Bringing it down, and there we go. Now that will allow both sides of that belt to fill up. Again, we're having an issue with these conveyor belts need to be upgraded. Now, of course, we might run into a situation where we're simply not bringing enough ore in. And if that's the case, then, well, we'll just bring more ore in. Simple as that, huh? But yeah, so this is going to be producing a lot more ore than this is going to be producing. However, we also have the problem that we're merging these two belts together, which is okay for the most part, but we really need to improve this production. So I'm gonna fix this up here because I don't like the way that this is currently. We're gonna copy and we're gonna add another one of these over here so we can increase our production even further. So let's get rid of that. Let's put this here. Get rid of, oops. Gotta remember these hotkeys. I really should have played this last Dyson Sphere program. I've really been enjoying Dyson Sphere program, I'm not gonna lie, but I really should have played a little bit more of it just to kind of, or a little bit more of Factorio just to kind of get me a little more back in pace for it. Well, maybe next week I'll I'll be able to switch back and forth a little easier. Anyway, all right, so that should start bringing a lot more ore down. Should start producing a lot more iron plates, I hope. Now let's go ahead and do the exact same thing over here. So we're going to cut out the coal. Excuse me. And we'll start off on... let's see, how do we want to do this? Just trying to think if there was a clever way to kind of only do half of this at a time so we don't have to like pick up all that coal by hand, but I have a feeling I'm just making things more difficult for myself. So, screw it, whatever. We're just going to do it this way. Alright, let's get rid of that. That was kind of in the way a little bit. Same thing with this power pole. There we go. Yeah, and the problem also is that some of our power poles and such are kind of in a really sloppy temporary position. We knew that was going to happen when we started doing our rebuild. It's expected. It happens. It's no big deal. It's just part of our refactoring of our base. I should probably shut off the supply of coal coming in. This way it's going to use up whatever coal's remaining as I go through and rebuild this, and any coal that is not being used, it will just, well, whatever. So like these up top are not using the coal, the one on the bottom are. So as we work our way down, it should just start to self-correct itself. That is the theory at least. I mean, it's not going to go that far because, to be honest with you, I'll probably have this cleared out before it gets all the way down to the bottom. So... to be honest with you, kind of a waste of time doing that. I should have just did the same way I did on the other side. Would have taken about the same amount of time. All right, so we're upgrading. Let's go ahead and upgrade these belts as well because these are only yellow. Those are definitely very slow. Yeah, of course, these up here are Those are waiting for blue belts to be completed. We don't have blue belts right now, so we're just going to go ahead and deconstruct that because I don't want that sitting there looking like that the whole time because it'll just drive me crazy. No particular reason why other than because. All right, so since we're not using, these mergers anymore or any of that kind of crap, we're going to just run this directly into this side here. And then this one up here, I think what we'll do is, I guess we'll run that like that. And there we go. Now that will allow two different belts to feed that same thing. So that would allow us to scale it out even further than we did before. But as you can see, the ore is coming through a lot faster than it was before. All right, so now that that side is going, let's go ahead and start copying and pasting these and moving them over. Doing another migration. Yes, refactoring, copy pasta, debugging this game is too much like work. It is. It kind of is, but it's relaxing in a weird way. I mean, it's not like debugging a Django app where you're just like, oh my god, why is this damn ORM just not, the migrations are not working. No, it's not like that. It's just a little bit more fun. It's like, what's an interesting creative way that I can make this work? It's just, I don't know. I guess I'm just too much of a nerd. What can I say? But then again, nobody has ever accused me of being anything besides a gigantic, enormous nerd. Well, PJ's accused me of being lots of other things, but that's a whole other story that we're not going to get into at this time. All right, so still continuing to go through and do that evil refactoring. What we're going to do is grab more of these, bring it down. There we go. I've got to provide some power, skipping every other one of these just to kind of distribute it a little bit better. That one's got to go down there. We have this buffer here that, or not really, it's not really a buffer. We're just using this to kind of collect some material that we can use to just grab. That was kind of a temporary setup. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that setup all the way up here. We still want to have it, but I want to move it a little tiny bit closer to where our actual mall is. This way it's a little bit less in the way. Keyword is a little bit less, not totally out of the way. So let's see, there we go. Then now let's just put a regular inserter there. Oops, character's in the way, cool, excellent. Now what I'm going to do is go over, deconstruct this one, grab any of the materials out of it that I can. Of course I'm full, I expected that. And then we're going to go back over here. Drop them in place. Excellent. I know I could have just teleported, but, that's what I'm doing now. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and add that back over here. Wow, where did all that go? Huh, that's weird. I knew I had a ton of it on me. I don't know where it went. Whatever, it disappeared. Oh, well, it happens. All right, so let's go ahead and upgrade that. We're going to drop some more power poles on here to kind of get all this set up. And this will hold us over for a little while. I mean, eventually we'll reach a phase where we need to migrate these again a little bit later down the road, but I think we'll be good for right now. So let's create a bunch of these blue inserters. Now you can see on our right side one, our right side smelting facility, we're just not bringing down nearly enough materials. And that part of that is because we're actually feeding the secondary set, like this line right here, into there as well. So what I think we're going to do, well, first off, let's get rid of this deprecated little setup here, using a little bit more coder lingo there. And we'll get rid of this and this, because we don't need that anymore. Cool. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this. Let's see here. How do we want to do this? Oops. No. I just poisoned it. Ah, no. That's not what I want you to do. Get back here. There we go. That's not at all what I planned on doing. let's just get rid of those and put it over there so it doesn't do that again. But okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this top one go in here like this. Actually, we could just have it like that. That's fine. And then this bottom one here is going to kind of come in this way. Well, sure we're over one more, but because this damn thing is in the way. Let's see, how's it doing now? It's a little tiny bit better. Are some of these just not upgraded? Is that kind of the problem? That's possible. Well, this is starting to fill out a little bit better. It's looking a little bit better now, so that's good. We still only have one stream kind of coming in here, so I'm kind of trying to remember exactly why I did it the way that I did it. Yeah, I mean, what I'm trying to do is move... I'm trying to add a little space here. I mean, I was trying to prevent myself from doing this really lazy thing that would have just been so much easier had I just done this. And this would have been a lot easier. All right, there we go with that. Let's get this in place just to kind of even out those belts a little bit. And then I guess we could put one more here. This is going to be kind of a weird thing, but it will provide us with a little bit more of the ore. So the problem is that when you have one belt filled and you're doing a splitter, that means only 50-50 is going to either side, which makes sense. It's a splitter, of course. However, we're just producing way more of these copper plates than we can actually support. However, we are actually now starting to run into a problem where this one belt that we're merging into just does not have enough bandwidth, essentially. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically beef this up a little bit. Now this little splitter right here, we can leave it for right now. It's not hurting anything. You know, at least it does keep it a little bit balanced. It's not a perfect balance or anything. If you want to have a much better balance, you would use, like, there is actually some balancing and stuff that you can use. Or balancers, I should say. And at some point, you will see me kind of break out some of those balancers. I have a whole book of different belt balancers. So you can see, for example, if I wanted to go from a 3 to a 7, which would be a weird configuration, but I could do it. And, you know, these these balancer books I found are just amazing. There's so many of them out there. This one I really, really like. You know, if you want to balance out a 4 to a 4, you would use this. And the actual algorithms that they use are kind of they're a pain in the ass. And I'm just glad that somebody else did that work for me. Because I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't really want to do that. So yeah, putting this buffer right here, probably wasn't the best of solutions. Just being honest. It's a little tiny bit in the way. But we're going to make it work. So we're going to provide some copper ore to this top one, because as you can see, what we're essentially doing right now is we're taking everything from the bottom, using a series of splitters to bring everything up to the top. But now by having that top as well, that should help start filling out the top so it starts having a little bit of a backfill. It looks like we're missing a top belt there. That makes sense. There we go. We turn on these lights just a tiny little bit. They are kind of blinding me a little bit tonight. Hold on a second. Okay, hopefully it doesn't reduce the... Oops, that's too much. I got to keep that one up a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't make things too crappy, but yeah. All right, so now that we got our copper production going a lot faster than it was before, let's make sure that our belts are actually doing well. Now, of course, we are going to start running into issues. You know, as the more resources we pull off these belts, the more we need to balance things out. And that's where the 4x4s come into. So even though we are only currently using really 1.5-ish, I am going to put down one of those 4x4 belt balancers. And that will allow us to just add a third one, for example, and then all 4 of them will balance out. And that's because we are going to actually start using some of those belt balancers now. So let's go ahead and get rid of that current one, or that current spot, I should say. And we're going to put this belt balancer in place. Wow, I can't believe that was almost exactly the size that I needed. That's impressive. Complete accident. Did not intend for that to happen, but hey, I'm not complaining. Well, I'm not complaining much, because if I was complaining, who would listen? And now, of course, these are going to come out as a as yellow belts, because that's essentially what's in the book. Because we can, we start off as yellow, and then as we need to, we upgrade each individual set of belts. Our bots are taking their sweet time. We just did get our construction bots finally, but at this stage, our construction bots are still just a little bit too slow. And let's take a look at our logistics network to get an idea of where things are. And we decided to put this in the absolute perfect spot because we are in the logistics network. That is awesome. That was a great accident. But I should continue to expand this network a little bit. So I'm going to drop a few more of these roboports just to, expand our range just a tiny bit more. And because our bots are going to take forever, I'm going to go through and start adding some of these. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm going over the ones that have not been built. I'm pressing the Q key, which, adds whatever the current item is to the cursor. And then I click, and then it drops the item in place. This allows me to make sure that the item I'm dropping is exactly the item that is being called for. So, for example, if I were just to look at this and be like, all right, well, what is this? Well, that angle could mean a lot of different things. Depending on how you look at it, could mean a lot of things. But when you hover over, just hit Q and then hit Enter. It's exactly what you need it to be. It's perfect. And, it's okay that these two middle ones are not populating currently. That's kind of expected because we haven't plugged them in yet. So what is going to happen is you can see that it's splitting it up, but it's creating some pretty big gaps along this rung. That's okay. This is going to improve over time. As we add even more copper production, these lines will start to continue out. And then we can start doing things where we can say, okay, we're going to have a 4 by, or 1 coming off right here. So let's just, for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to get rid of a little bit of this belt system here. We're going to select a 4-to-1 right side. And then we're going to align it with this belt right here. Even though you can't really see things just yet, you will see them shortly. As soon as my bots get off their ass and finish picking everything up. Come on, bots. You can do it. Let's go. Any day now. Bots are really slow at this stage of the game, let me tell you. I'm not even sure how many bots I actually have. Construction bots, I have 18. They're going pretty damn slow. It looks like we need a lot more flying, flying robot frames in order to produce more of those. I'm not sure we're actually producing any of those currently. So we might have to, fix that. My God, if I'd known this was going to take this long, I would have, oh my God, I would have went to go build more of these, construction bots beforehand. But I guess while they're taking their time, let's go ahead and look around and see if we can find any flying robot frames. So here's where we're building the flying robot frames, which is right here. And it looks like we're missing electronic components. And we don't have any electronic components coming down here because we just don't want to chew through a lot of those just yet. So let's go ahead and come down here. We've got a ton of these electronic components. So we're just going to grab a ton out of this box. We're basically grabbing as much as we can handle. And then let's teleport back up here. Drop some of these electronic circuits in place. Let's see, what are we feeding off of? This one probably works. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's going to start producing some robot flying frames. Robot frying frames. Yeah, there we go. Where's it dropping the results at? Oh, this is currently producing logistics bots. I think we do need a little bit of logistics bots, but for right now, let's go ahead and create some combat, or excuse me, not combat, some construction bots. There we go. And eventually these will come out. These will be grabbed by, dropped into this empty chest. Then this will pull from that empty chest, and you can see there it goes. And then it's also going to pull some green circuits, which are being delivered as we speak. But again, because I don't feel like waiting until Christmas, I'm just going to drop some in there right now. And then you can see each time that it builds one of those, it drops it into the assembly machine. The assembly machine drops it into the robot port, and the robot port just says, hey, this is what you need to do. Welcome to your first day, and I'll get to work. So we have 19 of those bots running around doing the thing. And let's head back down here. See what's going on. Looks like our stone is still a little bit slow right now. Wow, geez, I think I might need to make some coffee. I'm like, ugh. I was doing okay, and then these lights started hurting my eyes a little bit. And maybe I'll make some coffee. Maybe I'll try those glasses again. Oh, you know what? Let's try the glasses first because, the coffee will probably keep me awake. So as I mentioned in a previous stream, I've been experimenting with because I've been getting a lot of headaches and stuff. And because, I look at the computer a lot, there's these bright-ass lights up here. I mean, I could put on sunglasses, but that would be look really ridiculous. Okay, maybe not. I have unicorn sunglasses, so there's that. But I had purchased these glasses. I mean, they're not the best. I do need better than this, but they supposedly block out the blue light, so they're supposed to help a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's going to make me even more tired. I guess we're going to find out because we're going to put them on and see how it goes. There we go. I don't know how fashionable it is. Let's see how well it helps with my eyes, because honestly, they do make things a little bit more difficult to see. Not gonna lie. Okay, so yeah, so you can see that we have finished building our little setup there. And now what this is going to do, I probably will not be able to wear these for very long. I can't seem to wear glasses for very long. To me, they seem to make things harder. I don't know why, but yeah, looking at myself in the stream. Let me go a little bit larger screen on this. Yeah, these glasses just don't really work very well for me. So yeah, we're gonna try them for a couple of minutes just for the hell of it, but they're not very fashionable for me. Whatever. All right, so you can see that these are coming through. They're being sorted. So whatever, even if you send only one belt's worth, it will split these into 4. Okay, yeah, this is making this much more difficult for me to see. I mean, these are plastic, so of course they're not going to have the optic quality that glass would have. So I'll have to, I got to get some actual, like, the proper prescription ones. I got the prescription somewhere. I just got to, Anyway, I'm going to go make coffee in a few minutes. I'll just make like a weak cup. This just to wake me up a little bit, but not, anyway. So yeah, so with this 4x4, even if we were to only provide one small belt's worth, it would split it evenly between these 4 belts. So even if we only had this small little amount, it will split that small amount between all 4 belts. Now, of course, that could also be a bad thing too, because if you're taking a small number of resources and trying to split it up too much, the only thing you're doing is making things worse for yourself. But what's great about this little setup here is that, and let's go ahead and upgrade that, because I know it'll be a little bit easier to actually see what's going on here. I can upgrade some of these myself kind of manually, because the bots are going to take forever. I don't want to totally mess it up, because I can't entirely remember where all these things... It's kind of hard to see some of these things. Yeah, there it goes. Excellent. I mean, you're looking at it going, wait, why can't you see it? That's easy as crap. But I'll tell you, with these bright-ass lights, in my face, it makes it a little bit more challenging. I think I need to bump my ISO again and lower my light volume a little bit, but that's just too much of a pain in the ass right now. So the reason I have this complicated setup right here is because all four of these belts, which we're going to have more belts of copper coming in, it's going to evenly split this in such a way that you can see right here, we're only grabbing a small amount from, we're taking a little bit from each one of these sorters. Some of these are just doing a pass through. Like you can see this half right here does a pass through right to this half. And then the other half comes through here. Half of it comes out to get split up. The other half gets another pass through. Same thing down with the bottom. It looks really complicated, but it evenly distributes and makes sure that an even amount is coming out through the top here. It is way more efficient than these. Believe it or not, these much more complex beasts are more efficient than that. When you have two of these so close to each other, there are some for, let's see, I have some belts that are like 4x2 that will split it into, yeah, see, like this one right here. This one right here, which is a little bit hard to see right here. We'll just build it there just for the hell of it. But you can see what it would do is a very similar thing where it would, it's actually the exact same thing, it's just built out a little bit further, so it has one additional that it does a split on. So we'll just get rid of those because we don't actually need those right now. Construction bots, we now have 37, so they're starting to churn out a little bit more, which is great. Now our copper production is going a lot faster, which should also improve our green circuit production, hopefully. We only have one line of green circuits kind of coming out. That's something we're going to have to improve. But let's take a look at our research and see what we need to do next. We were working towards trains, which we are going to start creating a train line. So one of the problems with trains and kind of your starter base is where are you going to run the trains? Like you can't run it right through your base if you have a main bus. That's a problem. So what I tend to do is looks like we have some biters right over here starting to attack. So let's go ahead and defend against that. It's a good thing I was zoomed in at that point because I was able to see them. Hey, you little bastards, get over here. And they're dead. That was easy. But we should drop down a few more laser turrets to make sure that if they show up again, we make quick work of them. And it looks like some of our copper production is not even finished here. We could improve that and do a little bit more. So let's come down here and let's actually, let's do a little bit of that. Might as well. Guess what I'll do is I'll kick this thing off to copy and paste. And then I will go make myself some coffee while this builds. Let's see, do we have enough room to drop 2 of these? No, not really. Yeah, it's kind of an issue right now. We don't really have the room to drop 2 of these. So what I am going to do is build these out a little bit further now. Because I think we're going to need to kind of clear this spot out. And I think we're going to have to rebuild these. Once we've extracted all of the copper there, we'll have to remove those as well. So I think what we're going to do is actually, let's see if we can build them up here. Because I think this is going to be closer to where some of these might live permanently. Yeah, so we'll drop this one here. Let's see, can we drop another one right underneath it? Perfect, perfect, perfect. So I'm going to let this go ahead and build a bit. Let's make sure that we have some roboports so my robots can do their bidding, or do my bidding, I should say. And drop another one of those right there. Good. Okay, excellent. Yeah, one of the problems was with doing the ghosting is that we're not producing those in a mall right now, so they really have nowhere to pick them up from. So we'll drop 2 of these in there, and then when it needs to create those, whatever. All right, so we're going to let our robots go ahead and produce this. I'll zoom in so you can actually keep an eye on this. I'll be back in about 2 to 3 minutes. I just need to go make some coffee, and I will be right back. All right, my coffee is now coffeeating, which is great. Hey, Brittany, how are you? I'm so glad you came to join. Yay! My coffee is now coffeeating, and so I figured while it's doing that, I can go ahead and see how my robots are doing. It looks like they're doing pretty good so far. We will have to produce a lot more of these blue circuits, and we will have to get a mall going for those blue circuits too. Probably would have been better if I would have turned on my nanobots. Then more of these things would have been created. Yeah, the problem is that the nanobots don't work very well with the existing logistics network because these should be creating right now and they're not. So I'll just go ahead and drop some of these myself instead of forcing the robots to do everything. I mean, I know that we force robots to do everything and, you know, whatever, but... Which reminds me, public service announcement, you should be nice to robots. You should be nice to Siri, you should be nice to Google, you should be nice to all those things, because I'll tell you, if Skynet takes over one day and you're mean to it, you're going to be first on the list. That's why I am always very nice to computers. All right, that's a lie, but I try to be very nice to computers. All right, so just kind of dropping these in place. And I think my coffee should be done momentarily. Yes, it sounds like it is complete. Good, I'm going to kick off more of these electronic furnaces. Let those build. Oh, wait, we need some stone bricks. Where are we producing stone bricks? They are... I know we're producing some in a really stupid spot. Ah, they're right over here. Do we have a buffer for those? We do not. That is a bit of a failure. We should have a buffer for those. Everything should have a buffer. Oh, wait. Well, no, we don't. We have a buffer for the stone, but not for the bricks themselves. So that's kind of a failure. Can we produce the bricks by hand? I don't believe that we can. Because I think that they require... Yeah, so let's go over here and see if we can just grab some out of here. Oh my god, these are taking forever. Yeah, but these are also a crafting speed of 1, so let's go ahead and fix that. Change these over to some electronic furnaces to get that production going a little bit quicker. So otherwise, this will be taking till Christmas to finish completing these. And, you know, to be honest with you, I've got things to do. I can't wait till Christmas on this. Alright, so hopefully that should speed this up a little bit faster. I guess we gotta put this, yeah, it's kind of a weird layout with that, but it works for now. Wait, why are these not? Oh, because I have to select the recipe, duh. But how many does it require each? It requires quite a bit each, so we should probably upgrade those. But we don't have nearly enough of these, so let's create a bunch of our blue inserters. There we go. That should start producing those a lot faster. Let's go ahead and upgrade a few more, and then I'll go grab my coffee. Now, you might notice that I only upgraded one side of those inserters, and that's just because it's kind of a waste to upgrade both sides at this particular phase, because it just costs a lot more resources. It just requires a lot more power when the actual output of these is pretty damn slow. These do not require coal either, so that's good. So we can actually, wait, we did this kind of backwards. We'll just get rid of all this and recreate it all. I should have known that was going to happen. Oopsies. Cut the power to the whole thing. How'd they cut the power? They're animals. PJ knows what movie that's from. If you don't know what movie that's from, you gotta go watch it. Alright, let's drop in a few more power poles here, and then I will go grab my coffee. Wait, this is totally out of... Ugh. How did I do that? I put these out of place. That's fine. Oh, I should select the recipe before I copy and paste these. And I know that I probably just cut power to everything by doing that. That's okay, sort of. Let's run those up. I know that we don't have enough steel furnaces. Okay, there we go. All right, I'll be right back. Go grab my coffee. They mostly come out at night. Mostly. I love that movie. Oh my god. Yeah, and Brittany's mentioning that she had to do 36 loads of laundry, and I promise everybody, it was not my laundry either. Oh, anyway, I'm sorry that you had to do all that laundry. That is, it's pretty rough. I don't know what else to say beyond I'm sorry. That's really rough. All right, so this whole thing's got to be refactored as well, and I really don't like the layout of these power poles. I could have done a little bit better, but whatever. It's kind of in place now. We do have to have this grab some off the line and drop into a box because we're going to need it for various things. Whenever we need it, I'm just going to be able to come over and just grab some out of the box. So, wait, were we running low on power? No, we're doing good on power. Just initially, this inserter was just running a little bit slow, and I was kind of worried it was, yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the AFK animation, I don't know. I have a bunch of different animation packs, and just kind of mix and match things, and figured out what I like and what I don't like, and yeah, just trying a little bit at a time to kind of put things together. Have you seen the thumbnail that I now have for the for the stream? Oh my god, I can't think. By the way, PJ, if you watch on YouTube, I can give you a wrench. If you load it up on YouTube as well, I'll drop you a wrench. Same thing with Brittany. If you load up on YouTube, I can give you a wrench as well. And if you don't know what that is, you don't watch enough live streams. Anyway, all right. So let's see. What are we doing right now? Okay, so we've got these up and going now. Let's go ahead and kind of connect these up. Let's see. We got plenty of belts on us, which is good. So now we're going to have to run up to here, all the way up to our copper. And we're going to run down these lines, these brand new lines. I wish those bots would really, do their thing. There they go. Now they're kicking in finally. It's weird how they sometimes just don't really do anything. Sometimes they do. The nanobots are just not as good as the regular bots. But I think they're intentionally kind of, crippled. I mean, they're not supposed to replace the normal bots. They're only supposed to provide you with some early game bots just to make life a little bit easier. That is one thing I do like about Dyson Sphere program is that you get bots right out of the box. It's just part of the game. Your bots are, they have to build everything. And it's really nice. You got to worry about the speed of them and all that kind of stuff and how many of them you get. But, oh, my God, it's so much nicer the way they do it. So the wrench is basically like mod privileges. And you just get a little wrench next to your name. I don't know. Kind of like, PJ, for some reason, has this little... oh, what's that? It says Prime Gaming? Oh, you got Prime Gaming. Oh, is that why you have that thing on there? Oh, huh. I haven't really checked out the chat during a live stream to see if there's like any things that I can do to people. Wahahaha. Oh, what's this mod view? Welcome to mod view. I probably shouldn't be messing with this right now during a live stream, but I don't know what the hell this is. Okay, this is interesting. Oh wow, this is a lot of interesting sets of information. Holy crap. Okay, well, I'll have to play around with this a little bit later because there's a whole bunch of new things here. Okay, cool. Interesting. Well, learn something new every other day. All right. So, drop more of these. We're continuing to bring down our new production line, our new set of ore. I mean, this is a little tiny bit easier in some respects to Dyson Sphere program, but also a little bit slower. Like, it's nice that I can just kind of like piece down a bunch of those, but it's also slower because I can't just, go really far ahead and drop a bunch of those. Oh, good. This actually does. So I was a little bit worried that this underground would actually not go past this electrical pole, but luckily it does. Now, of course, these shorter electrical poles eventually will be replaced with big electric poles. They have a shorter range that they can actually, activate buildings and such, but they have a much longer range in between poles. So you use a lot less material long term, and it's a lot easier to place them long term, too. Wow, it sounds like my voice is really cracking tonight. I don't know why. Emote only chat. That's one of the chat options. Why would you... yeah. Okay. Sure. I mean, I guess I could see why. I mean, if people are just being total and utter douchebags, I could see a reason why you would want to have only emotes for chat. I mean, I guess that's... sure. Okay. I'm just looking at some of these, moderator tools. Oh, there's PJ. He's now shown up on YouTube. So I haven't seen how to wrench somebody, so we're going to try this. That should have given you a wrench. Let me know. I don't know. Did it give you wrench privileges? It's weird. It should have a wrench next to your name, but it does not, and I don't know why. I don't know. All right, maybe that's something I get later. I have no idea. PJ, try typing something else again on the on YouTube. I'm kind of curious. Sorry, all for doing this during the stream. I'm just kind of curious how this all works. So while he goes ahead and types that, we'll continue to build this out a little bit more. But this is also one of those things that I can't test it out while the stream isn't going. So it's like, do I either bother people during or, not during the stream? So, whatever. Oops, I ran these a little bit too far down. That's actually okay, because what I'm going to do is replace these top two. Those are going to go up top here, and the bottom ones are just going to replace what I already have here. You'll kind of see the madness to my method in just a second here. So we're going to drop this right about here. Drop another right about here. And this thing's going to have to move. We'll just move it right here. Why is it not? Come on. Okay, I don't know why it was doing that. That's weird. Whatever. So we're going to run this out a little bit further, and then that one is going to replace it. Same thing with this one here. Ah, there you go. Now you got the wrench. Just don't time anybody out or unless they're just being douchebags. Like if you guys want to practice timing each other out and playing with that stuff, go right ahead. But don't do it to real people unless you're being douchebags. Then you can wrench them. Give them the wrench. God, I wish I could do a Sean Connery voice because I would have totally just done that in a Sean Connery voice. Give them the wrench. I can't do one. That was terrible. Oh my God, don't ever allow me to do that ever again. Oh my god, that was terrible. All right, so continuing to run this around here. I don't know why I have that turret right there. Whatever. You're just going to live there. And, okay, so that gives me a little bit more production. Unfortunately, we have not produced enough electronic furnaces to really kind of engage this. Yeah, we definitely have to produce a lot more of these. Part of the problem also is that we don't have... Oh, wait, do we have logistics? That's part of the problem, too, is that we do not have storage chests for our logistics network. These storage chests are used for when I drop something in the trash. What's going to happen is my logistics bots, in theory, should come by. They should pick up that trash off of me, whatever's in these slots right here, and it will bring them to these storage chests. We don't have a lot of them right now, so we're going to produce a couple of them, put them in place. This way we have somewhere to drop things like trees and, other crap that we just don't really care that much about. And the great thing is that when you drop these things in place, they will actually become part of the logistics network. So if you have something kind of come along and get picked, if you have if you're requesting resources or you drop something down and you've placed it in trash, it will go to the storage containers, but it goes there last. Like there's a specific order of operations that will go to places first to pick those items up. Unfortunately, my logistics network, as you can see, is running ungodly slow right now. We just do not have a lot of logistics robots. They are trying to resupply me at the same time. So you can see they are dropping off those. So let's go ahead back up to our... back up to here, and we're going to turn this recipe over to logistics bots. We're going to start reproducing some more logistics bots. And we apparently need a lot more batteries. So, and I know that we have battery production over here. But I think what we can do is we can also put a passive. Now, this is part of that the system that I was telling you about. Passive is higher up priority than the construction. So it's basically passive and then storage. So it will first look at all of the passive setups, and then it will go to storage after that if it has not been found. But as of right now, I don't have a lot of these things, so it's kind of future planning as of right now. It doesn't even really entirely make sense to put these here, but if I were to, let's say, with these, if I were to ghost place a laser, like right, I don't know, right there, the construction bots will go to this, storage container, this passive container, pick it up, drop it in place, and build it. It'll just take a little bit of while because we don't have a lot of them and they are running currently very, very slowly. So let's drop some batteries here. Actually, I guess we could have picked up a lot more batteries. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab some more of these batteries. We don't want to grab too many of them because we are going to need those batteries for other reasons later. Yeah, it's still continuing to produce these batteries, just at a very slow pace currently. But let's drop another stack of batteries in here. It will pull them out, and it will continue to build these logistics bots. Basically, over time, we're going to be building these up slowly, so we kind of have a fairly even number of them over time. I mean, right now we only have, let's see. We have 18 logistics bots and 37 in a row, construction bots. Not very much. When I get up to, some of my really large games, I have upwards of thousands of these. So, after a lot of thought as well, I will be, starting with this stream, I will be spending a little bit of time after each stream continuing to work on these bases and such. This way, some of the more basic, boring kind of crap we can cut out and not have to sit around and wait for. Building up some of this real base kind of material and crap, So I will, do a little bit of work, but I'm not going to, do major research and such, which actually reminds me, we should check to see what research we can do. Let's see here. We don't have a lot of the military stuff right now, so we can't do anything that requires military tech cards. Can't do bioprocessing. Not a whole hell of a lot of research we can do. Let's see. Braking force doesn't really make sense to research at this point because we don't really have. Let's give this power, because otherwise our logistics network will not really work unless these things are actually powered. Actually, I think technically they will work. They just they won't be able to recharge. So if they're out of power, they will not prioritize coming over to these things. Hey Eric, I just seen you pop up there. Haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? But yeah, you can see that, well, unfortunately, this does not actually have power connected to it, so it was not recharging the battery. But now you can see that that battery is starting to recharge, and you can see that in the right corner of the screen. It's starting to go up to yellow now, and these bots can now actually recharge off of that setup. This was not initially connected because this water was actually part of, I don't know what the water was being used for. It was part of my, my mining setup over there. So that's why I didn't have it initially connected, but with this RoboPort, it's using a lot more power than the wind turbine can provide. The wind turbine can do a maximum of 20 kilowatts output, and the RoboPort requires 4 megawatts. So, and the minimum consumption is 50 kilowatts. So, it can't produce that one of them. I mean, I could build like 8 of them or something like that, but whatever. Just connect it to the damn thing. Who cares? All right, so let's go back over to our brand new. Oh wait, we needed to build more of these steel furnaces. That's what I was doing. But we were building more of these bricks. Oh my god, I keep getting sidetracked. Oh look, here's my steel or stone bricks. I did have a buffer. It was just all the way up here. See, now that makes sense. Okay, so we're gonna build all those. Let's grab a little bit more. Let those go through. Crate. Oh, interestingly, Eric and Stephanie, you kind of sort of know each other through somebody's brother. I don't remember whose it was, but yeah, you two sort of kind of know each other, sort of, I think. I don't know. Whatever. Well, hey, Brittany, the good thing is you'll probably sleep pretty well tonight doing, what was it, 37 loads of laundry in a row? Which reminds me, I need to watch Clerks again soon. Brittany, do you want to watch Clerks with me? Alright, so as those steel furnaces are producing, we can go through and start dropping those in place. Start getting a little bit of this production going. Do have to add a lot more of these inserters, and let's see, why are these not being created? Wait, I don't want to put all of those in my storage yet. I guess we'll just go ahead and tell it to produce a lot more of these inserters. We need more steel plates, so let's actually go back to our steel plate production. Grab some more of those out of our buffer. And it looks like we're running a little low on space, but that's okay. We'll produce a good 50 of those for now. That's good. Let's head back over here. Good, now that we're producing a little bit of this, let's actually run that out to our main line. To our main bus, I should say. And let's see, where's our main bus? Oh, it's actually down there. Now, of course, we're not going to use these materials right now. So, this episode might actually be a little bit boring in some respects because this is just about, getting our production to that next phase. If you just try to rush through your research, it's one thing that I found with this game, and a lot of games like this, if you just try to rush your research, you're going to find yourself in a position where you don't have enough for your base supplies, and you end up having these diminishing returns of just trying to get to that next level of research, but all these things you have to go through and handcraft, and if you're doing that, you're hurting yourself. You're only making things more difficult for yourself. It's better to spend a little bit of time, get everything going right. In my I actually restarted a game in Dyson Sphere program. It's actually my 4th game I think I'm playing. And I'm trying a completely different approach in it, where I'm having my mall essentially being powered by a completely different set of resources and power requirements than my main setup. And I've been noticing that there's a lot of things that you just don't need for your normal, just kind of operation of, getting your Dyson sphere itself up and going. You don't actually need all of the, all the different materials. And what I found is that, yes, the initial setup is very damn slow, but I gotta say, like, once you get over that initial hump, like, holy crap, like, things start coming together really, really fast. It is so much easier. So, and it's something that we're actually doing on the series that we're going to be playing on Saturday, 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Standard Time. I forget what we're in. Pacific Time. Specific time, as they said in Family Guy. Which I gotta say is hilarious because when I was younger, like a young kid, I thought it was specific time as well. So it's hilarious that Family Guy did that. But I guess it's something that a lot of people did. Did anybody else out there ever call it specific time besides joking and being, and being? Okay, so we're producing a lot more copper cable now. And you can see this kind of coming through. It's going to go through an underground cable, underground conveyors, and then it will come in and merge up with this main setup. Now, of course, these are backing up because we're just not producing nearly enough to justify that. Now, let's see where we are with tech cards. Clerks 3. I actually, so that was a question from chat on YouTube. Clerks 3, I actually just read something about this recently. So, the guy who plays, oh God, what's his name? The guy who plays Randall did not want to do Clerks 3. He was very against it. They were going to end up doing it without him, and then they had all the money, and then it was like 2 months before shooting, they decided to cancel the whole thing because he didn't want to do it. And then blah, 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 blah. Years went by, and Kevin Smith finally convinced him to do it. They are currently raising money again to try it again. So they are trying again with it. Who knows whether it's really going to happen or not. I've been, Googling it every once in a while to kind of see what's going on. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not, and I think that's kind of part of the reason why they didn't want to do it is because they didn't want to. It's hard to top Clerks. I mean, even Clerks 2 is still great in comparison to how bad a Clerks 3 could be. It's not saying that it would be, but let's face it, like, how many third movies just end up sucking, All right, so taking a look around right now, besides my blabbing and stuff, I am looking around to see what tech cards I have and what tech cards we're going to be producing next. So we have our blue tech cards. We have our green tech cards. So let's see here. Our chemical tech cards are going to be some of the next things we'll be working on. So we're going to need blank. Let's see. We're going to need blank tech cards, which we're producing a lot of right now. We're going to need red circuits, which we're producing a good amount of, glass, and sulfuric acid. We are producing our sulfuric acid up here. I don't know how much we actually have currently produced, but let's take a look, because we are using some of it for our battery production. A little low on heavy oil, which is okay. I mean, we're going to be doing some conversions at some point where we'll be converting, we'll be taking crude oil, fracking it, or whatever the hell they call it. They call it fracking? No, there is a thing called coal fracking in this game, but it's not that. We're basically taking crude oil and water and splitting it into heavy oil, light oil, and petroleum oil, and then we're going to take our excess light oil. We're going to take our light oil, convert it into lubricant, and then we're going to take our excess and convert it into petroleum. And same thing with our heavy oil. We'll just taking our excess and converting that over to petroleum. Oh, that's a bummer, Eric. Eric said that he went to the Quick Stop the day after they had a Clerks 2 wrap party or whatever was there. Didn't we walk on the set of one of their movies accidentally? Like, we were at a train station. I don't remember where it was, but I remember me and you walked in on a train set. or a train set. We walked to a train station and they were shooting a movie and we kept asking him like what it was, and I could have sworn they said it was a Kevin Smith movie. He wasn't there, but they were very pissed off at us and kept trying to get us to leave because there was a train that was incoming, and we were getting in their shot because they've been waiting for it or some shit like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I do remember walking on a movie set at one point. Was it for Chasing Amy, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So chemical tech cards. So let's take a look at our. That's where I was going. Keep getting sidetracked here. Here's our sulfuric acid. You can see that we have a full barrel of it, kind of already produced. But let's go ahead and add another storage tank so it will continue to produce more. Because we're gonna need a lot of this crap. Let me tell you. And now that I dropped that down, you can see immediately it started to these two storage tanks started to balance out. And this one has started to produce again, which is good. So we'll let that continue to produce. We will definitely have to improve our production because we're going to need a lot of it for our blue production. So let's see here. Here's our blue tech cards. And you can see the blue tech cards are going to definitely take up quite a bit of space. Oh, wait. This is our... Wait, no, we have blue tech cards. What am I thinking? Our chemical tech cards are done. Logistics tech cards. Wait, what the hell? Oh my god, it's been too long. I should have really spent a little more time trying to figure this out. So we got our red tech cards. Are we on... You know what? We are on our production tech cards, I think. So wait, we do have blue tech cards. Let's see, what can we research here? Lithium processing we don't quite need right now. Enriched ores. You get better yield out of stuff by using the enriched stuff. This is an interesting one. I'm not quite sure what to go with next. I haven't played around with Tesla coils yet, believe it or not. With all the stuff I've done with the Krastorio 2 mod, I haven't played too much with those. Nuclear power is definitely something we should start to research, so let's go ahead and queue that up and see if the research even actually goes. Okay, good, it's going, so that means that we do have our blue tech cards. Let's see, can we start producing our... We're going to definitely have to start doing our uranium processing soon. We can't do our enrichment yet, but I think we can do our basic uranium harvesting now. So we will definitely need a... Let's see, I think I have a mall for doing some of the... Let's see here. Belts, mall, storage, inserters. We should create an inserter mall soon. I mean, we are going to be moving our mall down. Looks like we can do all of our trains and circuits. Explosives, we're still missing a bunch of things before we can really kick that off. I mean, we're going to end up moving our mall probably down to about here because we have a lot more of the materials and stuff that we actually need. So we'll, because I mean, we're producing everything over here and it's going to kind of come down this belt here. Let's see, where is our nearest uranium? Okay, our nearest uranium is down here. Got another one up here, one up there, but this is 18... Oh, it's only 18K, so this is like a really small uranium patch. It's almost nothing. Let's see, can we bottle up uranium yet? Or bottle up sulfur yet? We cannot, damn. Or wait, can we? Damn, I guess we don't have our advanced chemical processing yet. Because basically my thought was that we could start to put our sulfuric acid into barrels and start bringing it down, but I guess we can't really yet. Let's see. Oh wait, we do have that processing. Okay, so let's see. But where is my... I should be able to produce some like empty barrels. Oh, here we go. Empty barrels, great. We'll just produce a bunch of those by hand. Come up over here because the thing is that we only have 18K of sulfuric acid to pull out of down, or 18K of our uranium to pull from down there. So there's no point in setting up this huge line of bringing sulfuric acid line all the way down there. So for temporary, crap, I have too much crap on me right now. Let's build this for right now. We'll just drop a bunch of things that we don't actually need. Oh, we can get rid of this. Get rid of that for right now. And deconstruction planner, I think we can get rid of that because we have a copy right there. And let's see, we definitely need some of our... Let's cancel that. Definitely need some of our assembly machine level 2s. There we go. And we can use those to bottle up. Ah, here we go. Fill sulfuric acid bottle, or barrel, I should say. Rotate that around because we, that little arrow right there is what kind of connects things to each other. Looks like that is finished processing. Might as well kick off our portable nuclear reactor research, even though we don't really have anything that we can use with that just yet, but I guess we'll just let it do its research. And let's see, what did we put in here? Let's bring another one of these right. Actually, yeah, we'll bring that there. Which this one right here will eventually be replaced with a... there's a type of logistics that we will get later called a requester logistics box, or whatever the hell it's called. That will essentially request empty barrels to be placed in here. And then we're going to take the filled barrels, which are going to be right here. Actually, I'll just kind of demonstrate for you what this would look like. So this will be requesting, eventually once we have our blue logistics canisters, chests, whatever the hell they call them, that will be requesting empty barrels. And then this will fill up, or, to whatever extent that I set it to. Let's give this some power. Actually, let's do the other one. Ah, get over here. Gotta remember these hotkeys. Holy crap. Keep using my my hotkeys from Dyson Sphere program. Alright, so we'll just drop that there. So now you can see it's grabbing the empty barrels, putting in the machine. It only takes a second to take some of the sulfuric acid out, fill the barrel, drop it in here, and then whenever we request those, when we request a sulfuric acid bottle, it'll come, the logistics network will pull it out of here and bring it down here or wherever the hell else we need them. But for right now, we're going to kind of manage these a little bit manual, only because we only have 16K to mine. And the thing is that you need sulfuric acid in order to mine uranium. So where we have our, kind of coal up here, or excuse me, not coal, our copper up here, where we just drop our electric mining drills on top and it just mines. With uranium, you have to drop sulfuric acid in there as well to mine out the uranium. I don't know if that's something that they really do with real, mining of uranium. I'll be honest, I don't know much about uranium processing. I've never done it. I know, shocking, huh? All right, so I'm just filling up that last one, and there we go. Can't fill this up, that's fine. We'll come back to it. Now we're going to kind of come down here, and I guess we're going to, let's see here. Well, maybe that was a little bit premature, because I'm looking around, and it looks like our best uranium processing is actually going to be up here. So we're going to ignore this one for right now. Yeah, we already bottled these up. All right, that was kind of a waste, but whatever. I demonstrated it. Y'all can see how that works now. It's okay. So we're going to head up here, and you will kind of see how this is going to work. But first, we're going to have to grab a ton of underground pipes, because we're going to need those to run all the way up there. Oh, did I tell it to get rid of? Yeah, I did. So we're going to tell our auto trash not to get rid of those, because we want those. We just pick them up. But we have it currently configured so extra items that we don't need are automatically pulled out. Like for example, we don't need any logs. So if we pick up any, you can have it set to just automatically trash them, whatever. But let's head over here. Oh, we want to start it here, sorry. Where is our sulfuric acid? Here you are. Hi, sulfuric acid, how are you? So we're going to run this line up. We're going to go up out of the way of everything, before we make our cut over, which will be here. And this part's a little bit slow, but, you know, we'll get there eventually. Hopefully before Christmas. Because I don't want to do a several month-long stream. That would be a little tiring. I don't have that much coffee. Yeah, maybe I should have went a little tiny bit higher with it, but that's okay. Oops, let's get back over in line. There we go. Going up a little tiny bit further. We're going to do this first one up to the right there. It's going to be the smaller patch of the two first. No particular reason, just I decided to go with that one first. Oops. Now, of course, this sulfuric acid, pipe is a little bit empty right now. It's only got 50% because we're just not really producing all that much right now. You have a roommate now that produces horror movies. That's kind of interesting. Any, like, horror movies I've heard of, or... Whoop, ooh, that's radiation. That hurts. I forgot. I need better armor to deal with the radiation. That's going to be fun. Okay, yeah. So, when I drop those mines in place, you'll notice that it has a section for pipes. And because it needs that to connect to sulfuric acid. And you'll notice that because when you click on these, you'll notice that it's got this little requirement there saying missing fuel or fluid, and it requires sulfuric acid. But part of the problem also now is that, so while we have the fluid, we don't have power. So now let's run our power down there. And this is where these poles come into it real nice. Oops. That's not what I wanted. There we go. Now what I'm doing is I just, clicked on it, I dropped one, and then I'm just holding down the mouse button, which will allow me to run these, and it would just, as it gets to the correct distance, it just drops them in place. So it's a great way to just quickly walk across the, quickly is relative on that, walk across the map and just drop them in place. Now the reason I dropped one more down here is because sometimes this was just simply not enough. But if I were to drop this, it might not necessarily be enough. In this case it was, but sometimes you get a little bit more range by using this, only to go to a shorter spot. But in this rare instance, this actually worked. So now if we return up here, this should start, well, it should have. I don't know why it's not. Okay, something is not connected here. That looks, okay, so yeah. It looks like I went a little bit too far with that. I actually should have only gone to here. There we go. So you can see it's now starting to mine out some uranium. Unfortunately, because of the armor I have right now, the uranium is kind of deadly to me. So this is actually going to be kind of interesting setting all this up without getting too close to it. Unfortunately, the armor I have right now is my modular armor. And I don't have any... Oh, I can make heavy... No, the modular armor is actually technically better. But we need shields. We don't have shields currently. Let's see. Can we even produce shields currently? We cannot. So we have to take out some biters and do a little bit of research in order to get the military tech cards in order to produce that. So maybe that's something I'll do off stream. I'm not sure. No, wait. We are producing a little bit of... Wait, I remember this. Yeah, we are actually producing a little bit of military. Yeah, we are. We do have military tech cards being produced. It looks like we have 746 of them. Okay, so we can do a little bit of research in shields. Okay, good. So let's see. Where are the shields? Shields would be really nice to deal with. Crap. Maybe we can't do them right now. Let's take a look. Personal shields should be... Okay, so it looks like... energy shield. There we go. Let's kick off that. So this is where the portable generators or the those nuclear reactors and stuff will come in. But you can see that like our small portable generator, we don't really have a lot of, we don't have any fuel in there right now. Our solar panels are just barely kind of keeping things going, so those are really not going to be enough, but we'll see what we can put together. As soon as our shields are finished producing, we will see what the requirements are and produce one of those really fast, and that should at least protect us a little bit while we're close to those things. When you get better armor, they give you more space on them, but the current armor we have is pretty crappy. It's really early game. And it does not appear that we're going to get anything better anytime soon, so we're just going to have to deal. We're going to have to make do with what we have right now. Yeah, you can see to get to the power armor. Oh, we can make power armor right now, which is the next level up. Let's see, can we afford to make power armor right now? Oh, it looks like we need blue circuits. Are we producing blue circuits? Wow, I can't remember what we are and are not doing in this game. This is kind of bad. So yeah, I guess the stream, unfortunately, is going to be, refreshing my memory about where I left off. That's the problem with these games. You get really big, crazy maps. I mean, this one's not that big yet. This is really small in comparison to some of the games that I've worked on. But, if you step away from it for too long, you're going to forget where everything is. So I guess blue science is actually something we're going to have to work on a little bit. And let's see. Well, what do we need in order... Or, excuse me, blue circuits. Blue circuits. So for blue circuits, we need rare metals. We need sulfuric acid. And we do not have the rare metals. We do have the sulfuric acid. But rare metals is another thing we're going to have to start to farm. Luckily, we do have 2 rare metals very close. We got this one right here. But rare metals requires... Let's see, I don't remember what it requires in order to mine. Oh, it requires 2.5 chlorine per mining operation. And chlorine is produced... Wait, we can't even produce chlorine yet. Crap. So let's see what we need in order to produce chlorine. I swear, I think we should have been able to start producing chlorine. Yeah, we can. Yeah, because water electrolysis will produce chlorine as a byproduct. So you add sand and water and you get chlorine and hydrogen. It looks like that is the only way to produce chlorine. All right, so we've got a lot of iterations we need to get to. Remember, the Krastorio mod is very complicated. There's a lot of different things that you need. If you are looking for, you don't want as many different techs in order to get up in this game, the Krastorio mod is not for you. I like this one because it takes a really long time to get to where you want. There's a lot of steps involved. That's just the reality of it. Looks like our stone production is actually a little bit poor over here. It's really poor, come to think of it. So we need to look for some more stone. We got some stone over here, 1.8 million. We got 2.9 million stone down here. I think it'll be a little bit easier to kind of bring this stone up. So let's kind of come down here because we already have power and such down here. So let's drop down a few miners. We're going to need to bring some stone up because we're going to need that stone. We have to crush it down to produce sand. And we really have to beef up our sand production in order to... Oh, wow, looks like some of our iron has run out here already. Those X's basically indicate that there is no mineable resources underneath it, so you can reclaim those miners. You don't need them anymore. So let's run... I'm not going to run the big power poles all the way over there because this will eventually connect... No, you know what? I'm just going to drop these in there now. I'm going to drop these in place right now so we don't have to run nearly as many power poles. There we go. Just being cheap about it. That should have given us power, and it did not. What am I missing? Oh, that's why. Because these do not these are not currently set up to use... these medium power poles are currently set up to use the old school... or the first level ones that require wood. So we're just going to go ahead and replace those. That should have given me power, and it did not. Oh, it's this one's got to be upgraded. Um, okay, I guess we don't have enough of those. Yep, this is why you got to get those malls going, like I was saying. Let's see, how long have we been streaming for? I don't feel like this has been a very successful stream. I don't feel like we've gotten very far. Okay, this is one thing that's a little bit annoying, is it does not have, it doesn't show how long this stream's been going for. Oh, that's just 91 minutes. And in this one it says, okay, so we're going for, okay, an hour and a half. 91, is that right? I don't know. Frame rate interval too high. Interesting. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So Twitch is complaining on my my other computer that the frame rate is unstable, which is weird because I'm not getting any frames dropped in OBS. So, I don't know. Whatever. All right, so let's produce a couple of these. But yeah, the second computer I now have, not really second, but I've got a lot of computers here. But the other computer that I have that I'm watching the stream on, not really watching, but I'm watching the chat and keeping an eye on everything. That one is actually running through a completely different connection than my main. I have two connections in my place. I have one through WebPass, which is fiber, fiber-ish essentially, but it's basically fiber. It's just straight Ethernet right into my apartment. Then I also have Comcast Business, which has LTE backup, but I have them routed completely different. But this way, one is not stealing bandwidth from the other. Let's go grab a couple of these nanoparticle canisters because we are out. And we should, oh, it looks like we have a lot more logistics robots now, which is great. And you can see they're kind of coming through and refilling me based on my requirements here. So you can see, like, for example, my fast underground belts, I only have 41 on me right now. I've requested 50. So you can see I can just saw it in the background. It went through and it picked up a couple, and now I have 50. So it has met those requirements. And that's where the personal logistics come in super handy. We don't need these, so we're going to tell it to just grab these basic tech cards out of my trash. See, they could just pick them up. They drop them off into that storage container there. I'll kind of bring myself over here so you can kind of watch that again. They're dropping into that roboport to charge themselves up. You can see these logistics robots come down. They grab those basic tech cards, drop them into the storage chest, and then they head back to just recharge. Because we just don't need those items on us. So we're going to go ahead and do that with a couple of other crap items that we just don't need right now. Actually, we're going to hold on to those, though, for the time being. And it looks like we have finished producing those shields, even though we can't really use them right now. I guess we can take the small... There we go. You can see our shields are now starting to charge up, even though this is using solar power. So the reality is that these shields are not going to be very strong. They will absorb a little bit of damage. So, like, let's head down to our uranium deposit down here. And as I walk up, I'll take a little bit of damage, but you can see that the shields just took a whole crap load of damage, but I didn't take damage. So the screen didn't start flashing red because I was not taking health damage, but I was taking radioactive damage. So the shields help protect you against that. The stronger and more shields you have, the longer you can stay inside those, inside that radioactive range. Now let's head back to, let's see, we're working on our stone. There we go. Now we're going to run some lines up there to our stone crushers, which we're using to produce sand. We're going to run 2 of these lines up there for right now. And more of the magic of copy and paste. Let those bots kind of do their thing, dropping them in place. There we go. Come on, you can do it. I wonder if Brittany's off doing more laundry. Sorry, I had to. She's been very quiet on the chat, so I'm guessing, well, I mean, she said that she was going to try to watch a little bit while she was doing some other stuff, so I'm just giving her crap, because I've been a brat all day, because it's kind of my thing. All right, so running this up, and we're almost there. This will allow us to start producing a lot more sand. I mean, because we're using some of the sand in our quartz production. But we need way more. Actually, no, we're not going to run it all the way up. We're going to let that run out there. No, actually, come to think of it, we are going to run it up. I was kind of debating on that one because I'm like, well, should I run it up or should I not? And I guess the thing I should do is I should run these up. This way I can connect that up, but we will use part of it for our new line. So our new line will be, half of it will be to, or I should say, half of this material going up will be used for our existing line, and the other half will be used for our new line. Let's get rid of some of these trees and such. And you can see that, oh wait, I don't have that set like that. But now when I set this like that, any of the trees that I automatically pick up are automatically dropped into my trash. So let's do that again. And you can see that after I told those to deconstruct, they're automatically added to my trash. And when I'm in range for my logistics network, they will come through and pick up. But you can see right now I am not in my logistics network. My logistics network right now is unfortunately really small. It's only up here. And the light green means that it is within range of the bots to be able to do construction. This orange brown, actually it's more of a brown color. This brown indicates that that is the range that the construction bots can do things. But we haven't run our logistics down there just yet. However, we are going to start to try to bring it down just a little bit more. So let's go up just a little bit. Just enough to kind of bring them down a little bit further. This is kind of a little bit of a messy setup, but logistics networks just always end up being sloppy. Later on and you can see we just kind of extended it down a little bit further. In Krastorio 2, the great thing is that there is a better RoboPort that you can get a little bit later on. Why are these not building? There we go. You get a better one that has much greater range, so you don't end up having to pop them down as messy as you were before. So I'm doing right now is just trying to make sure that this is actually lined up. Only because I like these things to kind of, look like they were dropped there on purpose and not the usual kind of spaghetti mess that some people create in these games. I mean, hey, if creating spaghetti is your thing, go for it. I've seen some great successful bases in Super Spaghetti. Actually, I shouldn't have dropped that down. That's going to be for our other set that we're going to be dropping. Oh, perfect. It actually ended up in the great, perfect spot. Sweet. So I dropped 2 more loaders here. We need to produce a couple more of these. We need to produce 4 of these crushers. And then we'll drop a few more loaders in place. Now we don't have all of the modules that we need for these just yet. We'll get those eventually. It's no big deal right now. Just drop a splitter in place because what we're going to do is have this line right here. I guess I kind of need one more line here, so maybe this one's not going to work because we need the ability to bring one more line up. So for right now, I guess we'll just kind of do it that way. There we go. Excellent. So basically, I think that for the remainder of the stream, I think we're going to focus on trying to get our chlorine production up and going. I think if we finish our chlorine production, I think that will be a good stopping point for this one, and then I will go back after the stream, off stream, I should say. I mean, the reason I'm going to do it off stream is because I'm just going to watch, like, space opera, like Star Trek, while I'm doing it. Or I've got some stuff to finish up for work too, so I'll probably do a little bit, here and there, but I can at least pause the game, go off, do some other things, and not bore people with me not talking and just doing a bunch of other things. So, okay, you can see we're starting to produce some sand. That's awesome. So in order to produce the chlorine, let's see, what do we produce chlorine with? We have to do electrolysis, which is going to be, or water electrolysis, which is going to be done in an electrolysis plant. We have currently one created. We need 10 sand and 40 water. So let's build another electrolysis plant or two, but we need glass, which is conveniently right here. Perfect. So I guess we'll just create, I don't know, we'll create a total of 4 of those. I might have created more, but whatever. And let's see, we can pull water from right here potentially, or right there. It doesn't really matter. We can pull it from either place. We want to leave a little bit of room for ourselves here. And this will be for, you can do water separation where you can do, you can take water, split it into hydrogen and oxygen, or you can split it into chlorine and hydrogen. I don't know how that works out. I don't think, chemistry-wise, I don't think that's really a thing. I don't think you can do it that way. I mean, either way, like, you're going to put a lot more energy in than you would be able to get out of that system. So, it's a video game. It doesn't have to make sense. But they're not going for realism in this game. I mean, let's face it, you crash land on another planet of these, like, aliens called biters, which are trying to come kill you. So, like, whatever. All right, producing an offshore pump, so we can grab some water out of the ground. Kind of pop that around that way. Give it some electricity. There we go. That's starting to produce some water coming out. It's going to drop into this electrolysis plant, as you can see. And let's see here. How are we going to do this? So we have to bring sand in, so we can use a loader or an inserter for these. I think we're going to go the inserter route. Well, let's see. How much does this take per second? It takes 3 seconds craft time, so there's no point in using a loader for it. If it was a lot less, I would use a loader, but I don't think we need to use loaders for this. So let's drop those inserters in place. The thing is that loaders are a lot faster. They don't take power. But they're a little bit more complicated of a setup, so that's why we're not going to use them for this particular point. Let's see here. Okay, we got to get some power going. That's a little out of range. Crap, I knew that was going to be the case. Oh well. And drop that right there. You can see we're starting to put some sand in there, and now we'll start producing those chemicals. Oh wait, this was a terrible spot to put that because we need to have a pipe kind of coming out. It's going to be difficult for us to put these, another one of these right here like this, because we need to have some room for these chemicals to kind of come out. Well, if we did use some loaders, we could potentially make this work, or some splitters. Let's focus on the one side first. So let's see, let's bring this out right here. This will be our hydrogen line, kind of coming down like that. Then we'll build another one right here, which will be our oxygen line. I'm sorry, chlorine. So this will be our chlorine, and this will be our hydrogen. And yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to put the other one right next to each other, so who cares? We'll just drop these. We'll do an inline kind of setup. I think this is fine. And we'll swap it out later if we need to. Let's drop that in there. Let's bring some water down. I guess I should have... one of the problems is that I can't put an underground to connect to an underground. So I've got to put a kind of straight pipe there. We're going to put an underground belt here. This way we could run this underground pipe to here like that. And then we can run another underground kind of coming down to this setup here. It was easier to do the underground for the sand than it would have been to deal with this particular pipe setup. Yeah, I guess I could have moved this over to the left a little bit more. Whatever. It is what it is. Forget about it. Okay, let's drop that there. Good. There is another one thing that I did forget. Wait, no, never mind. This one doesn't have a byproduct, so never mind. Let's bring that down and that down. Now the hydrogen, we don't have a purpose for it yet. But what we are going to do is we're going to drop in some storage tanks because we will need that eventually. But for right now, we're just going to collect it. And let's see, do we have an overflow valve? We do have overflow valves. We just need some iron plates. So let's go grab some iron plates and then come back there. See, our iron plates are somewhere around here. Yeah, we can just grab some off this line here. There we go. Now we can build an overflow valve. And the reason we're building an overflow valve is because we're going to first try to fill up as many of these tanks as we can. Then eventually we're going to run into a situation where we just don't have, any more room for it. But we can pull hydrogen out of the air, so it's really not worth building anything more than this. But what we're going to do is we're going to put an overflow valve. And, wait, do we have the thing that we use to burn it off? Oh, crap, I don't think we do. Well, this will be for future use. For future use, we will have this little pipe here that it looks like we don't have yet. I'm kind of surprised. But basically, oh, wait, here it is. Fluid burner. So essentially what will happen is, just like I'm sure you've seen, traveling down the road, you've seen those, kind of like oil processing systems where they're burning off all the excess, chemicals or whatever the hell it is that they're burning off, whatever, they're burning off the crap that they just can't really do anything with, or it's just unsafe to deal with. That's essentially what we're doing here. We're just going to get rid of our excess, because the problem is that if this fills up, if our hydrogen line fills up, that means that this production comes to a halt. It has nowhere to go. So what's going to happen is the hydrogen is going to come down here. It's going to go into these pipes, or excuse me, these storage containers. They are going to fill up, and eventually once they hit the 80% mark, anything above 80% will automatically get routed through this overflow and into this fluid burner, and it will just start to burn it off at one fuel rate. I don't know exactly what that rate of measurement is, but whatever. That's what the game says. So, and then you can see, here's a good example. Like, both of these are full. I mean, this pipe is, so the chlorine pipe is essentially full, so it cannot produce any more of these components because it's just full. So, but because we're going to be using the chlorine very soon in the rare metals, we can start to run that pipe out now. And as we run this system out, that'll force more of this chlorine to come through this pipe. And then it will turn these systems back on because then, it's trying to push that excess through those pipes. It uses a little bit of that material. And in doing so, it starts to clear out the excess. And then it will start it up again until they just fill up again, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. And that's another reason we use those buffers. So what I'm doing is running this out because we're going to run this over to our rare metals. Oops, that was a little bit too close. Ah, crap. Building the same bad place again. There we go. Kind of bring this up. And I think this should be enough to kind of start heading this way with it a little bit. Let's see, can we go across the water here? We might be able to. We can. But the problem is that we can't go around it, or we can't go through it. We have to go up and around it. I mean, we don't have any landfill right now. If we had some landfill, we could have filled that in and just kind of went through that way, but we don't have it, so whatever. Okay, we are almost there. Oops. Let's cut down some of these trees. They are definitely in the way. There are these other canisters that we could produce, which are the nanobot termite bots. I don't really use them that much. I mean, I probably should. But there's tons and tons of uses of wood in this game, so it's better just to throw it in a storage thing and then just use it up later. And that's the thing that I do a lot of times. Like I'll store things up. Like for example, at hydrogen, I'm just storing hydrogen right now, which is absolutely the most safe thing that anybody should do. You should store tons of hydrogen just in your house for no reason. Just kidding. Don't really do that. That's a complete joke. I do not recommend you storing hydrogen in your house. In fact, I don't recommend playing with hydrogen in general. All right, so now we have our chlorine almost there. We can start to, we have our chlorine kind of going there. We can start placing some of our blueprints for our rare metals. And then in the next episode, because I think we got the rare... Oh, wait. Okay, let's kick off the enriched ores. The enriched ores is kind of nice because instead of just taking the raw metal and just converting it, what you do is you process it through this really complicated system that extracts even more metal out than you originally would have gotten. You basically feed it back into the system, and then it somehow extracts more of the material, and then you can burn off more of the material. It's a much more complicated setup. I mean, I'll give you a hint of what it looks like. See, I think I have one in my own beacon system. I thought I did. Maybe I don't. You know, I was working on one, but it's not complete. I can see that it's not in that particular version there. But we can kind of come over here and let's see, it should be underneath. Oh yeah, I can see I could have used a blueprint for my chlorine and hydrogen production, but you know, we'll do that a little bit later. Right now, we don't really need it because our setup is just way too small for that. I know that I had a setup for this. I know I could have sworn... Oh, here's smelting. Here we go. Enriched iron. Oh, here we go. So as you can see, it's a much more complicated setup. It requires a lot of things that we just currently don't have, so we can't go with that kind of setup. But this will have a lot better yield than just taking this rare metal and just, you know, smelting it down. I don't know how it does that. It just does. You just have to trust the system, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so what I'm doing is just putting down a couple more power poles because we want to put some laser turrets here. In the event that the biters decide that they want to come pass an unpleasant visit, they are not invited, so if they show up on our picnic, you know what to do. Give them all the coleslaw that nobody else wants to eat. Either is the potato salad. I forget, what is it? Potato salad or coleslaw that people just never want to eat at parties? I think it's potato salad. Anyway. Doesn't really matter. Alright, so let's see. Let's run some power over here. And of course, we're going to have to run through these woods, so we're going to probably end up getting lost a little bit, but we can just kind of chop down more of these trees. God, it's amazing how tired these lights make me, I swear. Like, I just got to mess with the ISO on this a little bit. Basically, I'm going to bump the ISO a little bit more so I can lower the lights. Because I got to say, they are blinding me tonight. Sorry, I had to lower them a little bit more. I know it's going to reduce the image quality a little bit, but it was just getting a little tiny bit extreme. All right, let me double check to make sure it's not too bad. I guess that's okay. Eric says he makes a bomb coleslaw. I don't know if making a bomb anything is good or bad, but, well, you'll have to make it at some point. Just please do not put any 4 a.m. in it. I do not want to go to the hospital. All right. So let's see here. I'm just trying to see if there's any more research to kind of kick off, and it doesn't look like stronger explosives would be kind of nice. Do we have missiles yet? We do not have missiles. Or rockets, I should say. Or do we? No, we don't have them just yet. So we'll probably have to kick that off in another next time. Mining productivity can't get, yeah. You see, this is the logistics system I was telling you about. This is the one we're going to want to get. We're going to want to get that in hopefully our next game. But I think it's going to be probably 2 more games before we get that, because it's unfortunately requires a lot of different things in order to get there. There we go. Now that should start providing some power. Excellent. Will tell us to chop down, so eventually our bots will come through and start tearing that down. And we'll extend our logistics network out a little tiny bit further. So this way our construction bots can start doing a little bit more work, and you can see they're kind of doing their work. Now they're going to go through, they're going to chop down those trees, and then they're going to bring them back to the storage bins that they have. Now obviously they're not going to these right now because they just can't get there. There's just not enough range. We have to start producing these roboports automatically so we can start spreading them everywhere. But that's another thing that I'll have to work on. And I think, beefing up our mall might help a little bit. That might be something that I might do off stream. And you can see that we're out of our nanobots. Our nanobot canister is now empty, which I kind of half expected. How do you half expect something? Family Guy quote for anybody who didn't know that. I have this weird ability to quote Family Guy with like pretty much everything. Four drops of 5 pounds. 4 drops to 50, or is that 55 pounds or 5 pounds? 5 pounds, okay. Well, yeah, 55 pounds would be a lot. Oh my god, yeah, I don't know why I thought that. Well, I'll have to try that sometime if I'm ever in Jersey again. Well, who knows, next time I'll be out there. The way the COVID's going these days, probably not for a long time. Alright, so get a little bit more of this rare metals out here. We get some more of this production kind of going, and then we're going to end stream. Actually, let's get our smelting kind of set up going, and then I think that's something I'll let it finish off stream. And then next time we'll pick up from there. Oh wait, I don't need miners. I need my smelting setup. Let's go over here and we'll just copy this one. We'll just cheat a little bit. Here we go. Yeah, let's see. Let's copy over here. And then we'll drop that right about here. Now I'm going to give myself a little bit of room because we want to be able to expand this out. Eventually this will become a, once we get trains set up, we're going to start bringing in rare metals from all around the map, and this will be the beginning of our big smelting operation for dealing with rare metals. But for right now, this is just going to be kind of a temporary setup, but that is completely not true about the masks. For the record, people should continue wearing the masks until everybody gets the vaccine. The vaccine is the only thing that's going to stop the spread. That's just the reality of it. This is not a normal virus. Like if it was like the Spanish flu, you were able to build up a immunity to it. But unfortunately, with COVID, people do not build a herd immunity. Will not work for it because the antibodies only last 6 months. So no, people need to continue to wear their masks. If people would wear their masks more, this shit would have stopped a long time ago, or it would have slowed down severely. If you look at New Zealand, New Zealand has been wildly successful with it because their citizens, shockingly, pay attention to what the scientists say. Unlike the United States, where, we had an administration in charge that was anti-science. So there's that. Anyway, well, I think that this is going to be where I'm going to end tonight. I will let these continue to process. It's going to take a little while for these. Actually, I got to pick up some nanobots. Nanobot canisters and let them kind of do their work. They'll spend some time, finish building that setup. Cool. And, so please do me a favor. Like, subscribe, share it around, tell your friends to come watch, come hang out, come chat. Got any fun little anecdotes or such and such, I'm more than happy to entertain. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, just like, seriously, reach out to people, tell people to subscribe. Like, I'm trying to hit my 100 subscribers. I'm 36 away, something like that. So I'm making some progress at least, And so Saturday, I will be working on Dyson Sphere program, and we'll be continuing that series. So for now, I think the new schedule is going to be Wednesday, 7 p.m. Pacific time will be Factorio, and then 7 p.m. Saturday will be Dyson Sphere program. I'm not quite sure about a third yet. I'm still kind of working out the details a little bit, but I'm also trying to make sure that I leave time to continue to work on the things that I need to do for the stream after the stream. For example, like working on logos and icons and all that stuff. I'm working with some friends. I'm hoping to get a logo sometime soon. I'm hoping to you get like a little intro video and some music and stuff. That'll be coming soon. So we'll see. But I've got a lot of things in the works, and I have to spend some time outside of the stream working on those. So even though I want to do more streams, I have to be cautious on making sure that I have sufficient time to do all the things I need to do for the stream off the stream. It's one thing a lot of people don't realize about streamers is that they spend a lot of time outside of the stream actually working on it. Yeah, if you got multiple subscriptions or multiple accounts, yeah, please, subscribe all the accounts that you have onto it. I've got my personal email addresses on here. I have my work email as well. And, I had somebody at work try to suggest to me, like, hey, why don't you buy some subscriptions? No, I'm not going to do that. Sorry. I'm not going to buy subscriptions. I refuse to do that. My friends will help me out. The community will help me out. I'm just not buying subscriptions, and it's not a money thing. It's just a moral thing. I'm just against it. I am not going to do it. So, I know a lot of people have, suggested that, but that's just not the reality. And I'll be honest with you, Eric, I am not going to debate the COVID thing with you. I'm just not going to do it on the stream. The reality is a lot of the platforms just do not like discussions about that on streams. It hurts. You know what? I'm going to trust the scientists on it. I'm not going to argue it. It's as simple as that. I've read a lot of what the scientists have said, and I'm following the WHO recommendations, and that's what everybody should be doing. And if you think that, we shouldn't be following the WHO recommendations, feel free to go get your degree, and you can go argue with them, because I'm just not going to do it. Anyway, like, subscribe, share it around, and I will see everybody on, oh god, what day is today? Today is Wednesday. Yes, today is Wednesday. Yes. Anyway, so I will see you all on Saturday, and yeah, bye, my unicorn.